Hey friends, Big River here. Today is Wednesday, May 13th. March, wow. Um, and it's about 3 in the afternoon. Um, and I'm in this beautiful, beautiful Ponderosa pine forest. Um, I'm just north of Sedona. If you're in Sedona and you look to the northwest, you see like that beautiful red rocks area. I'm on a mesa on top of that, actually. I had to jeep in from the backside. It was a lot of fun. I've been up here a couple days. I'll probably come down tomorrow. Um, I'm at this beautiful campsite. If you saw it on Facebook, it's overlooking Sedona and all the beautiful formations out there in a wilderness area. And a little too windy over there. I didn't think you guys would be able to hear me, so I whacked into the forest and I found this spot that was all burnt. And you can see here there's this log in the ground and the trees are scorched kind of all around me. And I think this happened this year because like you see this tree here that's still got its pine needles on it and they're all burnt and stuff like that. The lower ones are brown, the upper ones are green. I think this was a controlled burn. And the reason I say that is like these logs are all down. Every tree that's standing is like pretty healthy, so I don't think it really got hot enough to really kill these trees. You can see they're all still green and look beautiful up there. So I think this was a controlled burn, and I think it happened earlier this year, but I don't know for sure. Maybe somebody local can fill that in. Yeah, so I'm up here on this mesa all alone. There's nobody up here with me. I think I saw like 2 cars drive by today, and they just were passing through and on these Jeep roads. And as I'm up here, I'm getting some work done myself, but it's really hitting me that this is kind of one of my escape patterns, right? I like to disappear into these balancing points. I feel really comfortable up here in nature. I could survive up here in a mountaintop. But I'm really seeing how this isn't really what I'm meant to do. I mean, yeah, I enjoy this. This should be a getaway for me, but I shouldn't like stay up here. This is like if you're like stuck smoking cigarettes or maybe drinking a little too much or getting high. This is my way. I put off getting what I'm meant to do here. Putting off doing my real work. Speaking of real work, I've got a couple books to recommend. I know probably all of you have seen this. I've seen Teal Swan's new book has come out, Shadows Before the Dawn. I haven't read it yet, but I've done a lot of her shadow processes, and yeah, finding your self-love is really important, and that's kind of the key of the book, is different tools to find your self-love. And I'll be honest with you, friends, I've only hit my point of self-love in the last couple months, and everything has changed. Everything has changed, and changed for the awesomeness. So I highly recommend that book to you guys. The other book I recommend is my friend John Stone's new book, and I hate to say it, I left his book in my car, and I believe it's called Living a Spiritual Life, or A Spiritual Life, by John Stone. It just came out. He gave me a copy of it when I was at his house. I stayed a couple days with him and Layla before coming out to Sedona out here. And I couldn't put the book down. The other day I read it in my campsite, and I read the whole thing, start to finish. And the terminology is different. I mean, a lot of you people that are friends with me, follow Teal, his terminology is a little different, but he says a lot of the same things. Every chapter is kind of on a different topic and hits different things that are important things to think about. And like like, well, an example of like what's different, like he talks about like protections in a chapter, and of course I cringe a little bit. I'm just like, I don't need protection. But he just used that as a term because a lot of people use that term, protections. I need protection from this. But the way, when I read the chapter, he talks about how these things show up to you because you haven't done your shadow work, right? So like, if you have something you're putting off working on, boom, there it shows up in your life. And, you know, so his point is that if you recognize that shadow in you, that darkness, he calls it the darkness in you. So yeah, his terminology is different, but if you recognize that darkness in you and recognize it and accept it, then you know what, those lessons, you don't need them anymore. They stop showing up. Very true. So I wish that book came out like last year, before things really started to click in my life. That would have been an important book for me, like, and it was. I read the whole thing, and I recommend it. John Stone's Living a Spiritual Life, or it's either Living a Spiritual Life or A Spiritual Life, something like that. But if you search for it, Spiritual Life, John Stone, you'll find it. So yeah, I guess that's my point today. Stop putting off doing your work. Find your point of self-love and just accept. Things change when you hit that point of self-love, my friends. I kind of pointed that out in another video about how, like, you think like, I'll be happy when this happens, if this happens, and then this happens and that happens, and oh man, I'm still miserable. That's kind of like Teal's 2.0 video, the point. Well, what happens is when you accept that where you are, and you accept that self-love, then those thoughts kind of change, right? You don't like just sit there and think like, I'll be happy when. No, that doesn't really happen. And you're just like, I'm happy right now. I'm happy being in this woods right now. This is amazing, right? So, but what then what happens is like your subconscious is kind of like what kind of kind of takes over, and you don't really realize this. Like you say, I wish I had a new lover, right? But then you subconscious thinks, oh, I don't deserve a new lover. Well, that's the overriding program, and then it never shows up for you. So really, once you hit that point of self-love and you don't care, then the subconscious takes over and things just happen, and you just come to a point of acceptance and just accept these things that come into your life, and it's so much more beautiful. So much more beautiful. I really hope you guys hit that point. Use those tools that are out there. Teal's new book, Shadows Before the Dawn, and John Stone's new book is Living a Spiritual Life. And you know, just create an amazing life for yourself. That's what I really wish for all of you. And yeah, so here I am in the wilderness. I'm going to come down off this wilderness tomorrow, I think, and maybe start heading home, visiting some friends along the way. So I just wanted to share this beautiful, beautiful mesa. Look at all these trees. Let me spin around. Hope you don't get dizzy. Ah! Yeah, I'm on this beautiful mesa on top of red rocks, just northwest of Sedona. So have a beautiful day. Okay.